question for you. When you look up in the sky at night, what do you see? I mean, really, what are you looking at? You're looking at stars, most definitely. But really what you're looking at is light. The fastest item to travel known to man is light. And it travels at approximately 5.8 trillion miles in 1 year. A ray of light, a little beam of light, zooming across the universe, covers 5.8 trillion miles in a year. That is where we get the term light year. A light year is not a measure of time. It's actually a measure of distance. There are other things that travel at the speed of light. Radio transmissions is one. Now, thinking how fast light travels, it takes approximately 1.3 seconds for light to bounce from the moon down to Earth. I'm sure some folks in here remember the moon landings. I myself have seen videos of the moon landings. And when the people at Mission Control were talking to the astronauts, there was this delay. And that delay was 1.8 seconds as the transmission went to the moon, and the astronauts then responded back. Just to kind of put things in perspective. Mars, traveling at the speed of light, is 3 minutes away. The Sun is approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Light is traveling from the Sun for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The Sun could implode, and we wouldn't know about it for 8 minutes. Kind of interesting, if you think about it. The closest sun outside of our own sun is called Proxima Centauri, and it is approximately 4.2 light years away. That ray of light has been traveling for 4.2 years before it sees us here on Earth. Imagine that. The furthest known object that we've been able to find is approximately 10 billion years. And it's a nebula. What's a nebula? It's nebulous. How do we know how far these distances are? There's several methods that we use to determine that. And one of them is triangulation. And very quickly here, let's take a look at triangulation. We know where an object is in the sky from Earth. We look at it. Then, using the concept of stereo vision, 6 months later, we look at the same object from the same point on Earth, at the same point in the rotation of the Earth, and we look at it. Knowing the distance that the Earth is from either side of the Sun at that 6-month period, we're then able to use triangulation to determine how far away this object may be. One thing to keep in mind also is that as much as we spin around our sun, the Earth spins around the sun, solar systems spin as well in the night sky. They're constantly moving, but they move at a speed that is not fast enough for us to recognize in our lifetime. So if we take a look here, here we have two objects, two stars in the sky. One object, or one star, the ray of light has been traveling for 500 years. Object B, the ray of light, has been traveling for 800 years. Now, if we move Earth 100 light years to our left, right, we could potentially see object A's light traveling for 1,000 years, and object B's traveling for 300 years. It's kind of interesting, perhaps slightly odd concept to grasp. But the point is that from where we stand here on Earth, we have a very unique view of the sky. If we were to move 100 light years to our right, our constellations would not exist. We wouldn't be able to look up and see Taurus, Aries. We have a very unique picture where we are located right now. And not only that, we're looking at something that is years old, sometimes millions of years old. So I ask you, when you look up at night, what do you see? And I feel you see history from a very unique perspective. Thank you.
So I've had this crazy idea to start saving water. It's a little far. Okay. I don't know really why. For a rainy day perhaps, or not really for a rainy day, but you never know when you might need some extra water, right? Something might come up, or maybe nothing, but I just can't get it out of my head. I'm saving water, and my inspiration is a story I heard about some pioneers. They were traveling across the plains, and a storm came. They were in sub-zero temperatures, and their supplies were running low. They started suffering. They started dying actually daily. People in the party started dying daily, either from exposure or from starvation. So there was a meeting held where they were trying to reach, and these men are in a room saying they need help. We need you to go and help this party, help them come across these plains. Who can come? And one man raises his hand. I can go. Give me 2 days to get things in order, and I'll be on the road. I'll take things. I'll get over there. I'll help those people that need us. Another guy raises his hand. I can go. I'll need about 3 days to be able to get those things taken care of that I need to get taken care of, and I'll go. And another guy raises his hand and he says, I'll go, and I'm ready now. And he was able to leave and offer that aid and assistance that they needed immediately. And I think, what was he doing up to those days? What was he doing to get him ready so he would be ready now to go? And that's what I'm asking you. Those things that you're like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? So that when life offers you those things, you can say, I'm ready now. In high school, going over this speech, my daughter just learned this. My cousin and a friend of mine and I would sometimes skip school and go to a shooting range. We just had a good time going to the shooting range. And just for the record, like, I was totally the winner on every time. And I only want to bring that to your attention because now they both totally like whoop on me. But back then, when my cousin became a cop, he was like, great. But our friend, he's a pharmacist. They have a pharmacy. He has a pharmacy with his mother. But he's got a membership to the shooting range, and he's always carrying guns, like loaded guns. My cousin, they still live by each other. My cousin's always making fun of him, like, why are you always packing? I mean, he doesn't just carry one loaded gun. Sometimes he's got 2, even 3. And he's like a normal guy. You know, he's not some crazy psycho person, but he's like always carrying and like just whatever. Well, last year in the pharmacy, 2 masked men come in his pharmacy after hours with he and his mother, and they start shooting. 11 rounds go off. One shoots his mother in the leg. My friend, who's always packing, pulls out his gun. 4 rounds go off. 2 shoot and kill the biggest threat. Then 2 shoot and wound the other guys. He's running out the door. No, nobody makes fun of him for packing. Like, you want another one? Have some more. Have some more. But you know why? Why are you doing it? Life came and he was ready. Saved his life. Saved his mother's life. Some of you don't know, but I like to run. And I have a running partner, my favorite running partner, actually, in his 70s. People would say, why are you still running? You're 70 years old, and you're, why do you? Certainly, I could go golf, or I don't know. And he would say, I don't know, I like to run, I don't know why I'm running. And then he had a heart attack, and they call it, it's the widowmaker. Claire might know which one that is, I don't know, but it's a big heart attack that normally they die. And he lived, and why did he live? Because he was running. Why was he running? I don't know. He didn't know, just ran, saved his life. And then we were in this same group, this friend of mine, we were in a running group, and the owner of the running group, he had a store, and his name's Hawk. And Hawk was also a runner, but he didn't start running until college. And he and his roommate, they're like, let's just run. So through the whole year, they just ran. And they got good. And they ran all through the school year. Then they both went home in the summer to their various homes. And when they came back the next school year together, they each had a story to tell about an experience that they had had that they wouldn't have had they not been in the shape that they were in from running. I don't know the friend's story, but I know my friend's story, Hawk. And they were hiking, and he's in his 60s now. So back then they didn't have cell phones. They were hiking in the mountains, 13, 14 miles up, and a girl falls. And she hits her head, she's bleeding in the head, she breaks her arm, and the bone's sticking out. They bandage her up as much as she can. They don't know how serious it is. They're far away. And Hawk is able to run down that mountain, get the help she needs within a matter of a few hours. She was able to get that help that she needed. We don't know what life's going to bring. We don't know what things are going to come our way. But the point is you each know those things that are just, why am I doing it? I need to do it. Don't procrastinate these things. When life comes at you, you need to say, I'm ready now. Thank you.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You all were born to be a star, each and every one of you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You know you don't know everything. And it's a good thing you don't know everything. And when I say I mean you don't know anything. More things will come into your mind when you don't have the I know it attitude. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You would respect those in front of you. Are there anyone who has served any of the armed services in here? Stand up. I got to know every one of you because we know we need to stand united and respect those in front of you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You know your actions define you. If you talk too much and no action, you lose your integrity. So, talk less, more action. Twinkle, twinkle, little star has core values. And I did write my core values on the computer about a year ago. And recently, I made a wall hanging. And I call it Lucy's Value. And you can put anything you want. I have emotional fitness, trustworthy, education, disease hater, creativity, and you can put anything you feel like it. You can even take my ideas. So when you come to my house, you can make me accountable for these values. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Up the world so high, like a diamond in the sky, you have to find what you are every day of your life to make you a star. Even if it's just these earrings I got at Nordstrom's for $1. I'll give you just as simple as that. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You know it's important to be a star. Because again, you were born to be a star. You want to be someone that someone wants. And you want me because I'm the most funnest person in the world. And also the most creative person you can get. I've won a lot of first place ribbons. And I don't remember how many. I just put them in a box. And I need to hang them out more. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You want to be someone who gets along with others. I know my fellow Toastmasters have seen when you work together on all our functions and our duty, what it looks like when we all work together. It's beautiful. It's pure. And then you've been in an incident where you know there wasn't teamwork, and it's pretty ugly. It's not pretty. And so you know the difference. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I want the person way back there to stand up. And the one back there to stand up, way back there. I just want to point out that you and you at the same time can be great without stepping on each other's toes. In our society, we're taught to annihilate somebody in order to get ahead. I think that's wrong. I think we need to change that, along with many other things. Thank you very much for standing. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You know it's important to be a star. Again, you were born to be that star. Even if I have to brainwash you to know that you were born to be a star, I will do that. You know you need more to get more out of your relationships, and also with non-humans. And everybody knows I gave that speech about non-humans last week about the parrots. It's important to respect even animals. For those who were in the military, I was too, in the Navy. And sometimes you need a buddy. And I have an active duty buddy I was in. He's in California. And sometimes if I ever get stuck, I always rely on my Navy buddy. I was on the phone. And I one time said, it's really hard to be on my own. I always see other people getting ahead, have more money than me. And he says, no, they don't get ahead. He corrected me and said, no, they don't, because they don't have themselves. I thought, he got through to me many, many times. And twinkle, twinkle, little star, you know you need other people in your life. You can't make it on your own. You really can't. You need other people. I have a serious autoimmune. It's a potentially life-threatening condition. So I know that I need other people to help. And maybe also I can support them too. Because I know that phrase where God gives you enough where you can handle. Sometimes I still think that's the correct phrase. God has given me way too much, and I have to be a superwoman every day. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I want you to embrace all civilizations and all cultures. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Just remember, be that star value, because you were born to be that star.